Hi, this is Nick on the 28th of May with this week's final thought on the idea of callings. So a couple of bits to today's thought. First thing is about learning to trust ourselves, because ultimately how do we know something is our calling? We can only know by the inner sense of rightness. You know, there's nobody out there that can validate us and say, yes, this is your calling, I've done the psychometric test and this is definitely what you're on earth to do. You know, it doesn't work like that. So firstly, it's learning to trust ourselves, and I see many people trip themselves up going, well, how do I know? You know, what if this is the wrong thing? What if I'm just fooling myself? And then, you know, another way to take the pressure off ourselves in case we think, well, this may not be the thing, is that in my experience, callings have many chapters. They are really evolutionary. You know, where we end up is not where we started. You know, having been on a kind of evolutionary path for the last 30 years or so myself, following the different chapters of my own calling, you know, I'm in such a different place to where I was 3 decades ago, and I can just see how things have unfolded and how I've needed to trust that process of blossoming and unfolding many times, if you like. And I think one of the purposes of our calling is to shift our sense of identity gradually. I don't think this happens overnight by any means. I think it's probably a lifelong journey. But I think what our calling wants us to do is to think less of ourselves as a separate personality and ego. You know, we're still who we are, we're still our name and all those things. And then we also have a sense of ourselves being bigger than all of that. You know, I suppose the word I would use for that is our soul. You know, that we think of ourselves more of a creative soul that just keeps generating more and more ideas and insights and passions and more chapters to what our calling is. So trust yourself. Don't worry if this, you know, do I want to do this forever? You probably won't do it forever, because it will keep expanding and evolving, and you will keep expanding and evolving, and it will get better than you probably ever thought it could be. And trust that evolutionary process. Trust that your soul kind of knows it's right for you, and you can trust your soul, and your soul will lead you into good places where you expand and become more and more of who you truly are. And I think that's one of the kind of core purposes of our calling, is to get us to blossom into who we truly are, not who we think we are. So I hope that's been helpful. I'll be back tomorrow with a new theme, but I hope you've enjoyed the theme this week. God bless. Have a good day. Bye-bye.